Well, what's going on, ladies and gents, and welcome back to the briefing room. Now, today's briefing room is a user-submitted clip from you guys. Thunderspear22 has been generous enough to send us this awesome 1v4 Echo clutch, which is pretty dope, in my opinion. So let's look over what Thunder did right and what Thunder did wrong in this clip, because honestly, he did a very strong balance of both, but overall, he played it to the best of his ability, and he did pretty well. So let's take a look and see what we can find. So first, let's talk about Echo as an operator. Echo came back in Year 1, Season 4, I believe, of Operation Red Crow. If I'm wrong, please do correct me. And he comes back with the MP5 SD, Bearing 9, Supernova shotgun, and the P226 pistol. I know it's P22 something. Excuse me if I'm wrong on the last digit there. So overall, his loadout is very strong, but commonly will be run, which would be the MP5 SD and the Bearing 9. He is a 3-armor, 1-speed operator, so he's the slowest style of operator, but he's also the thickest, even though he doesn't look like it. That was one thing that did surprise me about Echo, is that he didn't have that look of a 3-armor operator, how Rook and Doc and Tachanka did, and Capcan back in the day when he was, and Fuse and all that. Echo definitely doesn't look like his armor class rating, if you will. And then his special gadget is the yokai drone, which allows it to stick to walls and then turn invisible, where you can release an ultrasonic burst that will disorient the enemies with some other pro additional effects, which we'll talk about in a moment here. So the pros of Echo is that all of his guns, well, mainly the fully automatic ones, have very manageable recoil. Of course, with any gun in Rainbow Six Siege, if you just hold the trigger down, it's going to fly everywhere. But through containing, through burst fire, and just generally holding your recoil down, whether just pulling on your sticks on console or moving your mouse, you're going to have a genuinely better time with either his MP5 or his Bearing 9. The nice thing about the MP5 and Bearing 9 is they almost complement each other in the aspect of you can run an ACOG on the MP5 SD so that you can have a bit of a longer range gun, and then on the Bearing 9 you can't run an ACOG, so you can have that higher rate of fire in close range, which really makes the loadout for Echo and Hibana with her Bearing 9 and her assault rifle really nice on the complementary spectrums of each other, which really make them strong operators gun wise. Echo can also disorientate enemies, as I stated with his yokai drone earlier, and he can also give reliable intel. You don't always have to spam your ultrasonic burst from his yokai. You can just give a heads up to your teammates where they are. Essentially, you're a mobile camera, although you can't spot, which I'll talk about later in the cons in a moment here. And then an interesting thing is many people that do watch the pro leagues would know that Echo can safely stop a diffuser plant. I've used it multiple times myself. When someone's going to plant the diffuser at the last second, you hit them with an ultrasonic burst from the yokai drone, and it will stop them from planting the diffuser. Ultimately, you could win the game in that situation. You can have your teammates come in and kill that person. Essentially, it leads to a lot better of a situation and throws the person planting into a disarray. Because Echo stops them from planting, you can either win the round to see if it's a last-minute plant, or just have a good old time of murdering their face if possible, which is always nice. So in that regard, Echo is a very strong operator if you're very skilled with him coming into bomb. And lastly, let's talk about the cons of Echo. So Echo, as I stated, he is slow, and his drone can't spot people, but it's okay because you shouldn't be spotting people anyways. You should be using your verbal communication and then using callouts on your compass in game to tell people what's going on, better things along those lines. Also, when he comes off of his drone, he's very slow. You have to put the camera down, and if someone's in very close proximity to you, they're probably going to get the jump on you because, once again, Echo's loud, he's slow because of his 1-speed 3-armor tier. Also, in that regard, Echo himself is often stationary in a corner behind walls, and if he sends his yokai drone far away, you kind of lose audio reception close to you, unless you have a really good optical headset, or you have this amazing crank system PC sound card going on, that you can hear the person breaking in far, close from you as you're on your drone and it's far away. But most times you want to keep that drone close to you just so you can hear, so you don't get jumped in on or things along those lines. You can pair this with barbed wire to slow down people, or deployable shield to block off, say, a window with that nifty little glitch they got going on. So there's plenty of things to be going on to help that, but Echo overall does have a bit struggling in that close range environment with getting off of his drone. And also sometimes if you do swap back to your MP5 and you do have an ACOG on, in close range, ACOGs don't really go well together, so hopefully you'll have enough time to swap to your Bearing 9 in that situation. So let's look at Thunder now, how he played in this situation he got himself into. So looking at the objective that he was placed in, he was unfortunately placed in one of the worst spots in Bartlett University, the Lounge. Lounge has no cover. Everything is concealment. Concealment is, yeah, you can hide behind it, but if someone just shoots around the corner or shoots at it, you're not going to be safe. You're definitely going to be murdered. And because Echo is a slow operator, this is definitely not a comfortable spot for him to sit in, but Thunder does use his deployable shield to his best effect. Now, key points of attacking this objective are the two front windows, as you will see coming up later, get utilized very heavily. The flank from Washroom, which also does get used, and then you have upstairs, which can be destroyed by buck, fuse, or breaching charges or sledge, and that can also lead to just a bad time. Overall, if the objective got a rating, it'd be like a -6 out of like 10. It's disgusting. So let's talk about Mr. Thunder Spear. So Thunder puts down his deployable shield and sends out his yokai drone after trying to hunt down some drones. You know what? Good on you. You did drone control. You did your reinforcements. Overall, good job. I mean, there isn't like the room was secure as it was, so hatches were secure. The walls were covering you at your positions. You did fine. You got some drones. Good shit. Next comes the annoying part of the objective, when the attackers attack. So immediately, Fuseball's window takes out one of Thunder's teammates. Okay, sure. Thunder then got off his drone. Maybe you didn't need to get off your drone and stand in front of the window. Also, you didn't need to send all those sonic pulses while they were breaking out the window. It seems kind of redundant. You want to leave your Echo drone hidden at that point. Although you did wind up drawing that Blackbeard's attention, so maybe in the long run it didn't seem as bad. It's kind of the thing with Siege, is you never know what happens until it happens. Although, you didn't have to waste your Echo drone at that point. You could have left it hidden, maybe no one would have noticed, such forth and such forth. So without having to get up in that position and move around and flank, you also had that time where you could have shot Hibana's pellets where you're just kind of staring at them. There was really no point. You were behind a deployable shield. I know you might have been scared about getting fragged or something, which is absolutely fine. But at the same time, you already had extended, like, you know, once you had started shooting at that point, you've just already now given away your position as it was. So that deployable shield is not really going to help you in that situation anymore. And then your kind of fears of being figured out there was fine. So either way, you were getting to know in that position. And then you also had that now Ying later on that will pop up behind you and nearly kill you. So, you do well, for the most part, what you presented with. You should have shot the Hibana charges, though. I definitely would have done that. Even with the MP5 to maybe made it a little quieter, who knows. So, you wind up having to be pushed up, you get aggressive, you know, you do your right thing, you swap to your right guns, you do the best you could, and that Blackbeard's an idiot. You used your yokai drone pretty powerfully, you distracted him enough with it, he got over cocky, and you actually managed to get a headshot on a guy who had a head shield on. Siege, you blow my mind, I swear. Then Ying starts shooting at you from behind, and just luckily, before you got flashed, I guess you noticed you got the injure points. Great awareness on your part, dude. 10 out of 10, that was some solid shit right there. Honestly, I barely noticed watching it through the first time, but nice situational awareness. Then, you roleplayed a frost mat excellently using your audio to hear that thick fuse coming down the window. You proceed to shoot him in the face excellently. You did reload, that's fine, you know, understandable, but Hibana is a faster operator. I guess you were playing against lower tier people in this situation, because if you were going up against anyone that, you know, you play with, like Hoyo or I, you know you would have been dead instantly at that point. But, you know, you did well. You could have leaned peeking her, but other than that, you did really well by killing her and still remembering that you did get the injure on Ying. That was really, the play at the end was really nice. You kept your cool, you did well, and you got those kills that you needed to. Overall, solid plays. You played to the shitty room that you did, and you still managed to get that good control there, which was really well done. I have to commend you for that. I probably would have, like, thrown my controller at a wall the moment we spawned in that room. Anyways, though, great job, dude. The only thing, like I said, would have done better, just shot those Hibana pellets, and your play would have almost been perfect. Sure, Ying might have had to come around, but she would have taken a little bit longer of a time. Who knows what would happen, but you did get very lucky. Don't forget to tap fire, control your shots, and do not panic. I noticed you panic a lot, my bro. Don't worry about it. Just control your shots, go for those headshots, and you got it, my dude. Anyways, though, thank you for so much, if I could speak, thank you very much for submitting your clip. If one of you guys in the comment section would like to submit your clip, send it to this email on screen here. 720 60 FPS would be appreciated as like a minimum requirement. Send it into that email listed there, and then I will feature one of your guys' clips with your Twitter or YouTube or whatever you want linked in the video. Let me know in the email. Without further ado, guys, thank you for tuning into the briefing room, and I'll see you sexy beasts in the next episode. Peace.